What is up, everyone? This is What If Naruto Was Toji's Reincarnation, and this will be part 4. Now, last time we pretty much left off on the start of the finale for the Chunin exams with Neji and Naruto facing off, getting ready to battle or skirmish. But without further ado, guys, roll that intro. Feeling me now, do you have me, So we pretty much start this what if, or resume it, forgive me. And Neji is running towards Naruto, going to, at least hit one of his chakra points with his Juken style. So Naruto, being quite experienced against fighting in Hyuga during his time in the Anbu, there is a fellow Hyuga in the Anbu. I don't know if I actually forgot his name, but I know there's like a Hyuga who actually works in the Anbu. He's not really shown often, like he's rare sight, but I know there's like a Hyuga in the Anbu. But like, pretty much Naruto would have trained with that individual, I guess, knowing the weaknesses against any Hyuga. So this would also include Neji. So obviously he just has to keep dodging until, I guess, Neji loses energy, so the muscles in his arms will kind of relax a bit, and Naruto would be able to attack. So this plan would go quite to fruition. Like I said, he would keep dodging until he found an opening when he would kind of just attack. He would really move fast, where he would move so fast he would disappear from the view of the eye, as he would appear behind Neji, as he would, I guess, grab him by the back of the neck and then start throwing him. Like, he would do a lot of flips, and then he would like smash into the wall. Neji would get up, he would slowly recover, as he was getting ready to try his ultimate defense technique, which would have obviously been the palm rotation jutsu. So pretty much he was playing on the defensive, waiting for the timer to go down, or at least waiting for Naruto to lose his chakra. There's like, for this what if, I'm gonna put like a timer, so like whenever two opponents fight too long, they'll just call it like a draw, or whoever has less chakra, like the person with more chakra would have won. So they would have had maybe like 5 minutes left, 5-10 minutes, because that's a lot of time to fight, so it was pretty reasonable. So pretty much Neji would kind of be playing the defense, and Naruto would pretend like, he's fucked and all, as Naruto would just go through a few hand signs before doing water dragon jutsu, as just from the atmosphere itself, a dragon would form from water, as it would go right for Neji. Neji would activate his palm rotation jutsu to stop the rotation or the movement of the jutsu, and that would work, but this would cause water to kind of cover his view, and Naruto would appear behind Neji's blind spot, as he would stab right through it, stabbing Neji in the back. Not in like the spinal cord, but like through the back, kind of through his through his stomach. So what would occur next is Neji would start to cough up a bunch of blood, due to him obviously being stabbed through the stomach. I had to really pause my OBS there. I accidentally thought that my finger was hovering above it, and I was just kind of zoning out talking, and I accidentally pressed it. So basically, I'm just gonna resume where I left off. So Naruto would rip out the blade, as Neji's stomach would start gushing out blood due to Naruto's blade not being there, stopping the blood from coming out. No homo. And Neji would then try to back up, as he would try to use a last ditch effort to do his last attack, which would he would try to do the 264 palms, I think it's called, to shut down all of Naruto's chakra, and that works. But Naruto, he just move his head, start bobbing, and he would start dodging it with no ease, as you would then be like, it's over. as he would just slash down as a huge vertical slash would appear on Neji's chest, as it would have been over. Neji would fall over as he would continue to spit out blood from his mouth and the wound, of course. And the proctor would call the match as Neji would be escorted, to the hospital. And then pretty much that would have been the end of the fight. Naruto would go up as Hinata would have been sitting next to Kiba as he would walk up to her. And Kiba would obviously be kind of defensive at first. I mean, natural instincts. Broski's a dog, literally. As you know, Naruto would say, I'm not here for you, dog boy. As you would say, hey Hinata, I fulfilled your promise, or at least I got justice in a sense. Well, don't think any. I didn't really deserve it since it didn't really feel right in the same time, I guess almost killing someone is not really appropriate. As I assume your familia, sorry, not familia, I've been watching too much Denmachi, bro. Your family will be a little upset about me almost killing Neji, but they'll get over it. But bye anyways. As he would walk off back to where his team is sitting, as he would sit down. As Sakura would tell Naruto congratulations, and Ino would have been sitting there, since like Sakura and Ino, they're like friends and all, so they would have been sitting next to each other. As Ino would congratulate him, as Naruto would say thank you. As the next fight would start, so fight would obviously be Shikamaru versus Temari. Naruto would be watching as Shikamaru would kind of be lazy, and it was quite understandable, being lazy and all. And he knew the reason why Shikamaru was always like sleepy all the time. It was because he trained a lot during the night, so he didn't have much sleep. So Naruto would walk up behind Shikamaru saying, "You're really gonna be mad about this, but sorry about this." As he would literally throw Shikamaru in the ring, similar to how he did in the canon timeline. As Shikamaru, once he got up, he would start punching the air, like, "Come on, what the fuck, Naruto? What are you doing? I'm gonna die, As Naruto would say, "Good luck, This might be the start of something special between you two." As obviously, we all know what happened, like in Boruto. You know how Shika dies made and all, No, I'm just kidding. But basically, that fight would go exactly the same. Shikamaru would basically kind of win there. He would beat her, but then he would forfeit. So, like, she would win by default. As pretty much the next fight would then be Sakura versus Dosu. But the thing is, Dosu didn't actually show up, so Sakura was just, I guess, won by, what's the word? Auto concession, I guess. And she would move on into the round, and she would be kind of salty, not getting anyone to fight. As Naruto, pat her shoulder, telling her, I feel like you're gonna be fighting someone very soon, so don't worry. As she would grumble, as they would go back to watching the next fight. Now this would be Shino versus Kankuro, as Shino would win due to it, obviously. Shino's bugs are like really strong and very versatile, and I guess Kankuro's dolls, the Kankuro doesn't actually use any physical strength, so like, it wouldn't really be in his favor. Like, he wasn't really winning this fight. So yeah, we'll go over the Sasuke versus Gaara fight. So Sasuke, he would be seen with that desert cloak. It'd be drippy as fuck, not gonna lie, man. And then like Kakashi there, they were kind of in the outfit. Naruto would be like, "Yo, Kakashi, did you train him well?" As Kakashi would say, yeah, he's doing good. All right, I even kind of gave him the basics of swordsmanship. He's definitely gonna be winning against Gaara no matter what. As pretty much Naruto would say, that's good. As the fight would start, so Sasuke, he'd be automatically on the offensive, using Guy's offensive techniques to basically win, and and not win so far, but like have the advantage in a sense. Before pretty much Gaara would start to go into the cocoon form, I guess, of the sand. Not really cocoon, but like he would make a circle, like a ball of sand, and cover himself into it, so kind of hiding in a sense. As Sasuke realizing this, he would unsheath his sword as he would run back on the edge of the arena, kind of using his chakra to stand on the wall, or the side of the wall, before he would get his sword into the not technique, but in the stance to stab somebody, as he would infuse lightning chakra. As Guy would still have that dialogue saying, the 1,000 birds. It seems he can infuse it into weapons. So let's just see what this does. His power of youth is very strong, almost as strong as Lee, as pretty much he would gain a sad look as he remembered that Lee was still in the hospital. But it would kind of brighten up, realizing it's not really healthy to think about that right now, as Naruto would see Sasuke run down as he would go and stab right through the sand defense, as he would stab Gaara right through the lung, or like the right part of your chest. And pretty much Gaara would then back up, as lightning would still be like enveloping his body from the Chidori, as pretty much you would look at it, there was a hole through his chest. Not a huge hole, but you can still see the outline there, and the scorching marks from the lightning, and you can see like there's a little hole there, like I said, but it wasn't as big as, like, let's say the hole that Kakashi gave Obito, the one like with the seal in his heart and all. No, Gaara still was pretty, he got a donut hole, but not much of a donut hole, as he'd be like, that's my blood. That's my blood. Dude continued to repeat this, like almost going like insane at that point, as he would go on his rampage, turning into his partial tail beast form, and this would give the signal for the attack. Now, Naruto would immediately jump into action, as he would see the Genjutsu coming, as he would, I guess, cancel it in time before canceling it for any other ninja, like Shikamaru was pretending to sleep, as he would wake up Shikamaru before they would meet up with Kakashi. Kakashi would be like, hey, this is an heroic mission, help Sasuke beat Gaara, and we'll defend the village, alright? Good luck, team. I really hope you guys do good, because if you don't, we're fucked. As pretty much they would then disperse, yeah, I said that right, as Naruto, Shikamaru, and Sakura, they would head towards Sasuke in Sasuke's general direction, as Sasuke was chasing Gaara. So pretty much Sasuke would quickly take down Tamari and Kankuro with ease, with Sasuke using fire jutsu for her wind, Tamari's wind, and Kankuro, it's dolls. Come on, bro, I don't even have to explain anything. So pretty much they would continue the run until like Tamari and Kankuro, they'd show up, as Shino and Shikamaru, they'd deal with the opponents, just like Shikamaru going for Tamari, then Shino fighting Kankuro. It was symbolic in a sense. They fought earlier, now they're gonna get their rematch, and it was gonna be for real. No rules or anything like that. As Naruto and Sakura, they would keep going, as Naruto would tell Sakura to use her other style to create like a fortress in between them, so just in case if Gaara uses like any powerful attacks, it won't go towards the Leaf Village. As Sakura would nod, as she would make her biggest, I guess, earth fortress she can make. I just made that jutsu. I don't think that's actual jutsu, but hey, I'm being creative. So pretty much what would happen next is, Naruto and Sakura, they would fight Gaara. They would come onto the scene with Sasuke impaling his sword into Gaara's lung yet again, but it was, I guess, on the bottom, more lower area rather than the middle, as Gaara's lung would collapse, as this would just provoke him to transform into his full tail beast form. As Naruto would get ready, he would summon Gamabunsa, as he would kind of tell Sasuke to jump on, and Sakura would jump on as well, as they would get ready. No, Naruto would say, okay, I only have chakra for this one last attack, so I'm gonna need all of your chakra. Can you guys do that? As him and Sasuke would kind of do a combination attack. I don't know what Sakura would use, honestly. Sorry about that, Sakura. But she would just give him his chakra, similar to how all of Goku's friends, they gave him their life energy for Goku to use his super, what was it called, Spirit Bomb, and it was similar to that. So due to Sasuke giving Naruto his, I guess, chakra, that would give him access to like lightning based techniques, and since Naruto is very advanced in elemental jutsus, he would form a lightning dragon. If you're wondering why lightning dragon, as you know in science, lightning and lightning and sand turn into glass. So we know what's about to happen. So pretty much Naruto would then tell Sasuke, look, soon you'll learn this technique, but watch me. As he would put his hand up in the sky, as he would then form Kirin, as due to Sakura giving him chakra, and Sasuke and him having large chakra pools with his own, he'd be able to make a pretty big dragon, almost the size of maybe a mountain. As the dragon would come down, it would be more enforced with armor, and it would pack more damage due to him using chakra of Sakura and Sasuke. As the dragon would come down, and as it would look towards Shukaku, getting a disgustful look, as it would dive down, going to bite Gaara on the neck. Not Gaara, but like Shukaku on the neck, as the technique would work. Shukaku would then turn into glass, as it would shatter. He would shatter into tiny pieces of glass before they would walk up to Gaara, with Naruto kind of pulling up a, hey, I know how you feel, okay? So can you just stop this? As he would kind of do his talk no jutsu in a sense, as Gaara would agree, and that would be the end of that. They would head back to the village, and they'd realize, oh, Hiruzen's got this. They will beat the Orochimaru with the help of all the other Jonin and his Anbu, but that's not how it went. They would go back to the village, and once they would get there, they would see what truly happened. They would come up onto the scene to see Hiruzen and the barrier down. Like, they would see where the arena the spectators were. They would walk up, and they would see Hiruzen's, dead body littering the floor, not littering, but it would be lying there. As Naruto would look, his eyes would go from that of excited to then widen, as his pupils would become smaller, as his face would gain a shocked look. As pretty much Hiruzen died, even though he and Hiruzen never really had like a parental bonding. He was still the Hokage, like his grandpa figure in a sense, and it definitely did have some sort of impact on emotional level. But after that, Hiruzen would be have a funeral and all, and that'll be the end of the Konoha Crush. As we'll be going over the Tsunade retrieval arc, as I didn't have Orochimaru get sealed away permanently or something like that, like I did in my last What If. He's just gonna be sealed away like his arms, so he can't really use any jutsu. So Jiraiya, a few days later, would knock on his door, as Naruto was kind of grieving, kind of in a slump, so he didn't really go outside. But Jiraiya would walk on his door, and he kind of accepted it. As he would walk up to the door, as Jiraiya would be like, hey kid, I know this kind of seems rushed, but the council kind of ordered that we go get the 5th Hokage, and I think we should get Tsunade. As Naruto would say, okay, whatever you say. When are we leaving? As Jiraiya would say, 1 hour. As Naruto would put on all of his clothes and get ready, as he would go over to Sasuke's house. He would ask Sasuke if he can come along with them, hopefully get some experience outside the village, since I assume he needs to get his mind off things. As Sakura would then come along as well, as they didn't really mind. They were all a team, so they didn't want to leave out another. So Jiraiya wouldn't really mind about the whole team thing, as he pretty much when he saw Team 7, it reminded him of their team, like Jiraiya, like Team Hiruzen, or Team Jiraiya. I don't know, the Jiraiya, Orochimaru, like Sasuke would be like Orochimaru, Naruto would have been like himself, and Sakura reminded him of Tsunade. As they would, Sakura and Sasuke, they would have packed up before they would head out. Now, 2 hours into the trip, Jiraiya would then say, he's gonna go research, as Sakura didn't know what she was talking about, or what he was talking about, so there was no chance to be like, mad. So Naruto would say, let's just say you don't want to know what research is. As Sasuke would kind of have a sweat drop, as he would remember that he caught it one time, like a few years back, he caught his dad actually reading that book, and let's just say his mom was kind of mad. She literally, she kind of looked like Kushina a little bit, like with the whole hair floating thing. It was, let's just say Fugaku had a bad night that day, okay? As they would be at the hotel, they would be chilling, as what would happen is Naruto would ask Sasuke if he wants to play some chess. I don't actually. I think the version of it that's in Naruto is called shogi, but I may be wrong. But they would get out the game and they would kind of be bored. So I mean, Sasuke would always be down. He's always kind of bored, with that emo look. But it would have been a little more softened in a sense as they would start the game with Naruto, I guess, winning. But Sasuke did put up a good fight, so Naruto did have some difficulty, but Naruto still won. As a few minutes later, they would hear a knock on the door, as pretty much Sakura would say, "I'll get it," as she'll go up to get it, as Naruto would get up and just hold her arm in a sense, as kind of holding her back, as he would say, "I wouldn't open that. Here, everyone, I sense some ominous chakra behind that door. I assume you sense it as well," he would whisper to Sasuke and Sakura, as Sasuke would activate his third Tomoe Sharingan, as he would get ready, as Sakura would get her kunais out and then go to punch the door with her chakra infused fist, as the door would fly off its hinges before it would hit Kisame, as Itachi would have turned into crows, appearing on the other side or halfway to the right of the hallway, as Sasuke would have ran out, immediately jumping on the wall, kind of getting momentum before then dive punching Itachi, punching him in the face, causing Itachi to slide back on the floor, as he would say, that punch was quite strong. I'm sorry, not Itachi, Sasuke. This is pretty good. I've seen you gotten strong with the help of Naruto. That's good. As Naruto and Sasuke would face off against Itachi, as Naruto would help Sasuke, and Sasuke he swallowed his pride, as he allowed Naruto to help in his fight, as Itachi would be quite surprised. Usually Sasuke would be like, "Let me fight him alone," but now he's accepting help. He has definitely grown up, as pretty much Sasuke would then get his sword out, as he would start clashing with Itachi kunai to his sword. If you're wondering, what is the sword like, it's the same sword that he had in the 4th grade ninja war, and he was quite proficient in it. And since everyone, like I said, is about 16 years old, he would have been at the same age when the 4th grade ninja war started, so he would have had the same proficiency of his form back then, so that would have been quite good for him. And Naruto would have taught him, I guess, some tips and tricks for any swordsman, since he knows how to use any weapon. As Naruto would get his spear out, as Itachi gotta be careful. If he gets hit by this thing, his techniques are cancelled. His chakra is gonna be locked for a few seconds, so he's gonna be defensive like taijutsu only. As Itachi would then try to use Tsukuyomi on Sasuke, and this would work. As Sasuke would be in the genjutsu, but he remembers some advice he had gotten from Kakashi, who had been put into a lot of deadly genjutsus in his lifetime, as he would tell pretty much Sasuke how to get out of a deadly genjutsu, especially that of the Sharingan, as pretty much he would remember, put your hands together, I guess release your chakra, break out of the genjutsu, since it's technically just all in your mind. So if you manage to do that, then you should be fine. As Sasuke would then proceed to break out of the genjutsu, as Itachi would be even more shocked, but the shock would catch him off guard, as Naruto would appear behind him, as Itachi would be like, "Oh shit," as he was about to get stabbed through the heart, or the internal organ, what's a very important organ, like hearts or lung. He couldn't risk where he was gonna stab it, but he knew Naruto was gonna stab him, and he had to use this technique to defend himself. So pretty much, if you guys are wondering what technique is he using, I'm confused. Come on, Aizen, stop teasing me. No, I'm just kidding. But basically, this technique would be none other than the Susanoo. He would activate the full body, as he would use the Yata mirror, and this was the only thing that could actually reflect Naruto's spear of heaven, the inverted spear of heaven. The only thing, the Yata mirror, that's it. And no other technique can actually deflect Naruto's sword, or whatever he transforms it into. As Naruto would back up, as he would be reflected back, so he'd be sent flying into the wall, before Naruto would say, "I didn't try this out much, but I gotta summon him." as we all think it is Jiraiya, right? I mean, not Jiraiya, forgive me. We all think it's Gamabunta, but you know, bite his finger as he would then slam his hand down. I kind of spoiled it already, but he would summon Jiraiya, as Kisame would then go, like, right before he summoned him, Kisame would go to swing at Naruto with his Samehade, but like the goat would, not the goat, sorry, the toad. I said goat. I mean, if there's such thing as goat summonings in Naruto, I'll definitely have to give that to Naruto one day, man, one day. But pretty much, the toad would appear in front of him and catch the technique, or the Samehade. Since it's technically a technique, since like it absorbs chakra, not really, he doesn't have to activate a technique, but the technique itself absorbs chakra. As pretty much Jiraiya would come in and Itachi and Kisame, they would retreat. And pretty much, honestly, I'm gonna be really fast with this. Like, they would have no trouble getting Tsunade. They would literally, I guess when it comes to like fighting Orochimaru, they have Jiraiya, they have Sasuke, who, like I said, everyone in Konoha 12 is 16, so they have more experience, and they have more, I guess, more of a body to learn techniques, since you can't really learn all these massive techniques when you're a kid. No, so they're aged up, they can be more, I guess they have more potential, or more, I guess, more chance to turn that potential into actual good techniques. So, and due to Orochimaru not being able to use any jutsu, it would have just been everyone versus Kabuto, and it would have been like 1.5. So they would have got back Tsunade, and Naruto would use his persuading words, saying that he'll pay off all her debts, and Tsunade would obviously come back, especially after the part about debts. Very excited about that one, as pretty much, yeah, that'll be the end of this What If. Team 7 would have went on their own time skip, and Orochimaru wouldn't have preyed on Sasuke. But I'm not, next part I'll be going over the time skip specifically, and something will drastically change, and it's gonna be for the better. But without further ado, guys, I hope you guys have a good day, but peace out.